Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to have a session about the data engineering essentials for the graduates or the college students, and also those who are willing to begin the career, and also those who wants to have a long-term career. I mean, when if you are at the beginning stage of data engineering, this session would definitely help you. So let's get into the sharing mode. I have prepared a short presentation. Hope you're able to see my screen. Yes, no, Nathan. Okay, so the data engineering essentials for the students, or I would say the freshers, and also the people who are starting this career. The most important thing is we need to know the basics, which I will be explaining you what are the basics which are required, and also the fundamentals. So that is one of the most interesting thing. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to see the screen now. Okay, so let's say I have created a certain contents which are useful for the set of people who want to be a data engineer or who wants to be a proper full-fledged data engineer. That's what we are going to see. So we have a small introduction about me. The demand for data engineers. Why there are a lot of demands for data engineering? The increase in demands are due to what reasons, and what are the improvements happening in the IT infrastructure, business, why the companies are in need of it, basic skill required. Normally, for getting into IT, there are some basic skills which are need when you are at the beginning stage of a career. And also, if you are targeting this profession, which means the data profession, you have to get into few more interesting I mean, like a set of career path. You have to go through certain areas which are most important for this career. The reason why the skills required have to be accomplished by the young graduates or the students or the those who wants to get into data professionals. The market is changing, which means the changes in the market. Can you able to hear me? I think there was a problem in the Teams. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks. So the reason for that is the market is completely changing. If you see like the term, let's say 2014 or 2015 or 2011, during that time, what happened is the companies they visit the colleges for the campus placements, and they ask some very basics or a decent set of questions, and then they would be in need of 100 candidates or 50 candidates. They let's say the service companies, they just go and do a very big fishing net kind of thing where all the people starts their career, and they give 3 to 4 months of aggressive trainings. Like when I was a fresher, I was sent to a training program by the company, 3 months, and they evaluated it. They started everything from the scratch. So those training programs were conducted by the company because they know the importance of people to learn and deliver or get into their projects. But nowadays the scenario is completely different, where they are expecting the fresh graduates or the students or whoever is willing to get into the career have to be equipped, because the market is having extensive opportunities for learning. And also uh, the trend is becoming one of the factor, because the current students are they're getting into a lot more wider internet accesses where the guidances are there. So I've been to few colleges in India, I've been to few colleges in UAE, where nowadays the students are doing certain projects from their second year, or even when they are. I've seen one university in Chennai, a private university, which I don't want to mention the name, but that's one of the biggest private university where I've seen a third year student was working for a company for like 60,000 rupees, where the company was valuing him. He did a internship and he created a lot of great things on the product. And then company started hiring him and starting using him from the third year, the second tenure of the third year, which means the skills or the let's see that this guy must be 20 years or something like that, right? So he start it, which means like he got a very good guidance, or he got a proper career path from somebody he knows, because the people around us are becoming uh, kind of more aware about what are currently required for the IT. It's not like 2011 or 2010 where everybody says, okay, do any engineering, you get IT job. The market is totally different now. You need to have a proper career path. That is why I'm conducting such kind of sessions, so that the basic skills required should be noted. It has to be taken as a career path where you have to understand, okay, these are the activities which you have to do, and for those activities you need to go through certain resources available in the internet. You can go through certain certifications which gives you acknowledgement. There are a lot of certifications which are just based upon terms. No, don't ever. This should be a resolution you should take. Don't ever attempt any certificates through dumps. I don't ever encourage somebody just come and approach you that, okay, you will get this certificate, pay us so and so amount of money, so get this certificate. This is not the right way, and you get zero value out of it. So even if it is a MCQ based certification, it is suggested that you appear and you clear it or fail it. That's not a problem. But because I've seen a lot of people who are coming with certificates, but they have, even if we ask basic questions about the contents covered in the certificate, they're not aware. So that's the way I'm telling you that when you are learning, your certificates adds value when you do it, because a this is a big market, big gray market, where somebody says, okay, I can do certificate for you, or I have a proxy who can do so. Therefore, never ever take this kind of things. Be very honest on your knowledge and profession. That is one most important thing, because it helps you other way. Okay. Then the target knowledge and certification. We'll talk about what are the basic contents available. What can like I can give you some idea about certain areas. Then job demands. Commonly across the world, what are the job demands? What kind of roles you can take? What are the opportunities available? That is one most important thing. And the next is the Gulf market. Yeah, like since I'm in UAE, I can also explain you what are the opportunities available in Gulf market when you are a young engineer, because this is a big gap where I could see a lot of people are coming in visit visa and searching for a job. So I can explain you what are what are the do's and don'ts which you have to do, and then the Q&A we can go with it. So about the introduction, hold on. Okay. So my name is Navneet Babu. I'm running a company in India and UAE where I have partnered with a group of company called Gulf Consulting, where we are doing a lot of data engineering related projects for various different big customers in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and other part of Middle East. We are also focusing on cloud migrations, cloud optimizations, cloud advisories. So all these are one of our key area, and also we are focusing on few other areas which are kind of uh, the sustainability area. We have a solution. We are also providing solution for the industrial automations and few other digitization programs, where we have our own team who's uh, uh, who's implementing those solutions on various different things. We have collaborated with various other vendors. Let's say the companies in UK, Singapore, India. There are a lot of sustainability and industrial automation company, because when you do industrial, I mean, like, I can have a separate session about what are we doing, because that covers a lot of data engineering. That's the reason why it grabs my interest, because you can do a lot of wonders if you have a proper data from an industry, or you definitely need to provide a huge amount of analytics for the sustainability. So somebody was asking a question, which cloud? Basically, we are primarily doing a lot of things on Azure, and we are also doing a few activities which are coming up on GCP. AWS is having slight grow. It's still growing up in this region, where we also have like one or two engineers who are working on AWS. So the primarily this region, the UAE region, is having more of Azure. So yeah, and I've trained 7,000 people still now, and I was doing I was doing set of trainings until 2021, and then I moved UAE and started this company. So I stopped my trainings, but I'm trying to help the people through other way by conducting such sessions. Okay, demand for data engineering. Why are these demands? What are the reason for the demands? And I have see, there is a Q&A sessions which I will be having, so you can ask most of your questions during the Q&A. So we'll be having Q&A session in another 30-40 minutes. Let's wait for it. Okay. So the demand, first of all, let's get into the content. The demand for data engineering. Why there is a lot of demand? Why suddenly, or I would say it's not sudden improvement. The sudden improvement on the data engineering is because many companies are getting into the digitized business, which means they are becoming digital, and they have lot of automations and other things getting into their business, because they started gathering their data rather than their Excel or the papers. So you can see I've written a post yesterday about there is no big data. First of all, yes, there are companies who are dealing very huge amount of data. Now, all these have become the normal data. I mean, like, you as a data engineer, you have to do everything, not just a big data. You have to you have to connect with the operational database. You have to connect with you need to understand the concepts of dimensions, and you have to understand the normalization, which is actually not a big data concept, but the data concepts. Now, to be a big data engineer, you have to be a data engineer first. That's the reason for my previous post. So there are the first reason is digitalization. A lot of companies identify the values which they can get out of their businesses because of the data. So that's the reason why they started collecting a lot of amount of data from the customers or from their internal business processes. Let's say a retail company is trying to gather a lot of data from the customers, so that they can give a proper buying pattern and also the deals. That's the reason why they have to store a vast amount of data. A telecommunication company can get a lot of details about what kind of browsing you are doing and what are the activities, because in every telecommunication, like, we work for a telco customer where we know that as per the business, they are collecting all the URLs which we are accessing, which means through that they can get a proper deal, or they can have host an application which says, okay, these are the deals available. It's all their business model. They have a lot of things available, and most of the telecommunication companies are having food in different part of the world. They have food delivery application, they have entertainment applications where they can target the people. The data is more important, so they can also have like normally, since they have lot of data, they need to have a proper set of people. That's what the data engineer. So the first point says, yes, the companies are valuing the data. They are gathering huge amount of data, so they need the people to properly handle those data. So which means the data engineers are going to be their asset on getting miracles out of the data. That is one of the most important reason where the companies are hiring more data engineers. They need more data engineers. Not only the data engineers, there are other data professions which I'll be explaining you. They are also in demand, because data engineers can extract value out of the data. How do you place the data? What kind of activities you can do with the data? How do you manage the data? How do you govern the data? A lot of things are available for a data professional to grow in their career. If you even if you're a data engineer now, you have a big space to explore in data itself, not just doing the basic the same work. You have a ocean to explore. That one thing which I could explain you. And business strategies. So if you have a proper data management, or you have a proper data store, there are a lot of business benefits a company can get. Let's take, okay, there was a company which we did a project for an industry. So that industry, you never imagined that this industry would actually have such kind of benefit from a very basic data project. So they were having a device which is kind of that's a I don't know, I don't have to expose the name, but I can tell you that is a very big machinery. Okay, that machinery can sit up to, let's say, 7,000 square feet. Okay, it's a single set of machineries. Okay, so they wanted to have a specific system for periodic maintenance, because they were having competition from different part of the world. Let's say they were having competition from China and Germany. Okay, so this particular company wants to have a spare parts. See, normally, even if if it is a car, also spare part is a business. If it is a machinery, spare part is a secondary business for them. It's not just one time you sell the machinery and you have to just you can sell the next machine. No, no, you have to sell the spare parts for it. Just because this the devices are having nearly 200 to 250 spare parts and 2000 plus joints. So there are a lot of times, or some portion of the time, where the spare parts are getting issues where those are unnotified. Once the issue occurred, they started finding who is having the spare parts, compatible spare parts nearby. Because of that, they are losing market to few Chinese and German company. So this company wanted to get an analysis or data about the spare parts. Okay, so they have started creating the sensors and the IoTs, which captures the data and send those through the wide range Wi-Fi to their repository, central repository. So if there is a wear and tear happening on a specific spare part, and they analyze that based upon the weather and also that running duration, because some people run the machinery for 24/7 a day, and they give 1 or 2 hours rest somebody, and some of them will have a weekend off. So likewise, the machineries are operated in various different modes based upon those operations, based upon the air pressure, based upon the industry, the areas, because not every industry will be highly hygienic. So some industry will still have more dust, because of the dust the spare parts could have. They've analyzed a lot of scenarios, and they came up with a model. Okay, this particular spare part is giving such vibration, this particular spare part is having so many wear and tear, which means in 20 days there is a possibility that this spare parts could go down. So they send a notification to the procurement department to replace it. So this company itself can send the spare parts before it is it potentially go down. So this gave them approximately 35% of returning customers, and that gives a good feature to the company. This is what most important thing, the strategies. This is whatever a small industry can gain 35% of their market share because of a simple automation. Likewise, the data is helping. So all these automations they started doing because they started collecting data. Consider e-commerce, which is a massive market. Consider banking, consider telecommunication, for social media. All these are having massive opportunities if on their improving business because of the data. Okay. The next is stay competitive. We all know that 2020 we were hit by COVID. And how many of you noticed this? There are a lot of changes in the business. First of all, companies started operating through the remote, which means the company which was selling VDI, virtual desktop, started getting more requests. So they whoever ramped up much faster got into the market. Okay, so that was one opportunity. Then there were a lot of digital applications. We were getting a lot of uh, delivery portals which were much digitized with the different protocols, which means anything like COVID-19 or any other geographical factors or catastrophic incidents could change the business. So that is the reason why staying competitive, or I would say that the competitor could bring a new product which would attract the customers, which would be a totally a different portal which I have to accommodate. If not, my customers would be moving to the different one. So that is one of the most important thing where every data engineers or every organization will have a constant improvement, and also a sudden, or I would say an immediate need for certain transformation. So for all these things, we need data engineers. So because most important thing is design, and also the equal important thing is the data behind it. So how can I, because the competitor is giving more value or more targeted advertisements or more targeted what is that deals. So if I'm not doing it, I lose business. Or they give more offer on certain products which I hold. I also have to understand that and do it. So it's all staying competitive in the business is most important thing for any organization, because it's not stable. None of the businesses are going to be stable. Yeah, like even if you could have seen the normal petty shops, whatever we have in our area, would be having digital Paytm payments and a lot of other things which are most necessary to have those what is that businesses taken in a proper way. Consider I don't have a digital UPI, but my nearby shop is having digital UPI, and people are mostly not carrying money or having less money, so they depend on UPI. This petty shop would have a problem because people don't prefer, because you don't have UPI. As simple as for different organizations. So the improvements are most necessary one. And the demands for data engineers doubles every year due to digitization. This is the reality. The data engineering demand is directly aligned with digitization. Whichever company is getting digitized, which means they are operating on a proper database and a proper reporting analytics, they definitely need a data engineer. And the market is demanding. The companies in Europe is already, most of all are digitized because the European Union is asking for a lot of stats data from every company, so they were forced to digitize. UAE is also digitized. India, in another 5 to 10 years, there are a lot of protocols which are coming, which means there are a lot of opportunities for data engineers, and every industry need somebody who actually gather the data, do the analytics, show the reports, forecast. All those things are required. And the next is cloud adoptions are making more. So when there is a digitization nowadays, it's very easy for everybody to digitize through cloud. So any cloud, like let's say Amazon, AWS, Azure, or GCP. Some countries are having the local cloud. So likewise, because the companies, as I mentioned, that businesses are not always stable. They have to reinvent a lot on reshaping the business. So the cloud practices or the cloud managed services are helping it a lot. Because if I do on premises, I have a strong dependency on them, so that I cannot change them very often. If I have a cloud, it's all plug and play. So if there is a new methodology coming and it says, okay, your operation or your pipeline time can be reduced 15 minutes, which is a cost for me, which I can save it. Or there is a new methodology which says, okay, you are not going to use such kind of costly VM, where we are giving you serverless environment where you can save 40%. You can do it in cloud. So cloud, those kind of activities actually bring more demand for data engineers. But I have seen some companies who actually do the same thing on different cloud, because the other one says, okay, you have opportunities. But it's all the learning. 2020 to 2024, many companies tried different cloud because of the word cost optimization. Nowadays, they know they are caring about stability. So they found, okay, I let me go with such one cloud. So these are the various reasons where the data engineering demand started coming, which means if you are taking okay, there are a lot of people who are asking, why should I take data engineers, or what are the advantages of taking data profession? See, if you are taking a full stack, yes, that is also a nice profession, but you need to learn the technologies, and the adoptions have to be faster. Let's say the JavaScript was is a very trending. JavaScript based applications are very trending. You have React, Angular, a lot of other things are there which are actually frequently updating, and the methodologies are changing. But when you come to data infrastructure or when you come to any data profession, SQL remains the same. Any framework or any technologies which are coming new on data are aligning with SQL. Take Spark. Spark is a distributed processing framework. Now everything we can do through SQL. Kafka is a message queue where like let's say it has a public pub sub model where producer consumers subscribe and take the data. I mean, consume the data. They have a KDB, which is actually SQL based. Every technologies which are coming in data side are now, if they want to shine, they have to get into SQL mode of operations. So SQL is the most, it's a one-time investment. I would say SQL is a one-time investment for any techies who are getting into their career, because this gives you a lifelong value and this will never eradicate. SQL is going to be one of the most important component of your IT industry. Okay, that is the reason why you learn once, and the full stack engineers know SQL. The who's that? The DevOps people, they know SQL. This is one of the most important thing. As a data engineer, you should know it much more proper way. That is one thing which I will be explaining you. So the basic skills required. Here we go. So if you are a student, or if you are if you plan to get into data as a fresher, if you're a young professional, you definitely need to know data structures, because there are a lot of impacts of data structures on the basic frameworks. You need to know about array. You need to know about the other few concepts of data structures, and also the algorithms, the normal computer algorithms you have to know. That is why we that's what we learn in data in engineering. If you are not an engineering graduate, there is no problem. All these are available in internet, where you can learn, where you can even the people. There are a lot of YouTubers are doing this in the local language. Let's say I've seen data structures in Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam. So all these are available in YouTube. So you can learn on your own language, because these are most important thing which you need to know irrespective of language. These are concepts. These are ideologies. So you definitely need to know kind of a proper algorithm. It's something like driving a car. You need to know how to drive a car. If somebody is teaching you on Tamil or Kannada or Marathi, that's fine. If that's your native language, okay. When say rather than you interpreting, that's why I'm telling you that you can learn through any language. So data structures and algorithms are the protocols. So these protocols you have to be sure, because even now I know I was talking I'm talking regularly to near the techies on mentorship. This week I spoke to almost 22 guys. Okay, 22 people I would say, because there are a lot of women also. So I'm like, some of them are housewife. They got a career break, so they were asking me how to kickstart all those things. So all these are common. So I am telling everybody, and also I spoke to few people around 6 to 8 years, or 5 to 3 to 6 years. So they are very strong in data structure. If I ask them how good you are in the basics, the algorithms and other things, because there is a trend going on how to get into FANG companies, the Facebook, Amazon, Apple, such kind of companies, or Meta, like Meta, Mang or FANG, the name changes, but there are a lot of that is very big business actually, because in US I heard like one person was telling that he paid $6,000. $6,000 is approximately 5 lakhs Indian rupees for certain organization to help him mentorship on preparing for FANG companies. So this is a big business, but you can get everything online. Only thing, it's up to your mind whether you are willing to take it or not, or you are self motivated or not. You can do it. So the next important thing is SQL. I'm telling you this. I'm like 22. I spoke to 22. Every first information or a first answer from my side on a tech suggestion is SQL. If you want to become a data engineer without SQL, you are not a data engineer. Okay, which means you have no value without SQL on the data engineering. You need to be very good in SQL. And one most important thing is SQL is not a Netflix series. Okay, so learning SQL is not like watching Friends. It should be practiced. I don't want you to practice Friends, but you should practice SQL. Okay, so you have to practice SQL. Like, though I've seen like people were very confident on SQL, saying that, oh, I'm a 7 out of 10, I'm 9 out of 10 on SQL. If you want me to rate myself, but when we give the scenarios, that's a the self evaluation should be based on the hands on what you do. SQL is something like a SWOT fight. So you cannot just or throwing a javelin. You cannot just read a javelin book and become a gold medalist. So you need to practice, and the confidence on solving the SQL will come when only when you practice. And when, let's say, the interviewer would ask a basic scenario, because they don't ask you rocket science, but the approach, because you know how to do a semi joint, you know how to do a subquery, you know how to do bucketing and all those things. That's fine. But when I give a scenario, you can solve the scenario if you have only practice. The most important thing is practicing SQL. So that's one thing. And the next is Python. I would say this is become, if you are a student, Python is one of the most interesting thing which you can do, and it's pretty easy when compared to the other programming language. Again, a hell amount of videos are available in YouTube. Please practice Python. The next is Spark. Spark is becoming one of the vital thing for any data engineer because of the cloud adoption. Every cloud component, let's say Databricks is the company which hosted Spark on Azure, which become very hit, and they become super hit in 5 years, $1 billion company. So which means Databricks is available in Azure, AWS, GCP, and also like you have Databricks free access. You can get it, and then you have the cloud. You can subscribe through your normal email ID and get a Databricks free access cloud, which we will be discussing later. Okay, for a student, for if you are studying in college, one most important thing what you have to do is you have to bother your college for few things, which definitely you can get it. If not, you first of all, I don't want to tell it. You have to get into certain. Let's say I've seen some colleges are giving it through librarians, or some colleges are having a certain set of staffs which are having, I mean, staffs who are having the cloud access. Let's say you go and sit with your computer staffs, or whoever is ready to help you, ask them college cloud access. So you can get added to them, so that you will, the cloud companies are actually giving a lot of logins and accesses to the college, so you can explore the components. If your college is not registered, take the initiative of yourself, sit with one of the staff, talk to Microsoft or Amazon and get college free credits, so that you can tell. That's a very proud moment for you to tell that I have established a relationship with Microsoft for my college. If not, if your college is already having, get the access. You are not very far. You're just one step away. Your hesitation may stop. But now when you want to get into IT, you should not have hesitation on asking some right questions, or whatever needed for you. Okay. So like this is something, a basic responsibilities you have to do, like voting. Okay. So if you have a responsibility, you have to do it. So and this is your life. You have to take responsibility. Nobody is going to spoon feed you, and this is not going to happen in your career. No, you have to do everything for your own. Unless you pay somebody, nobody will spoon feed you. Okay. So the first you go to your college and ask them for the accesses. So that is one of the most important thing. Or if you or Amazon or Facebook, sorry, this one, uh, Microsoft can give you some access if you're a student. So take those accesses, because you don't have to use credit card or get something if you are going to student access. That's the most important thing. Please talk to your staffs. Because my cousin is also studying in college. I just told him 3 months ago, and I told him to get Azure access in his college, where now their college is having AWS, where he is now doing a lot of things on cloud, which periodically updates me that, okay, I'm doing this, I've connected this, see, I've stored the data in S3. Very basic thing, but that guy is doing. He's in second or third year actually. He's doing, and he has connected certain like S3 to a specific database he loaded. He was just telling a small accomplishment. That's fine. That's what you have to do as a student. Okay. So And a reporting tool. Again, it is good for you to learn a basic reporting tool, or I would say you have to learn the basic Excel based reporting, how to write Excel macros. Okay, the important thing is learn Excel also. You need to learn Excel. Because through Excel you can do a lot of things, and there are companies who are expecting you to analyze certain Excel things, write macros, because not everybody will have huge amount of data. Somebody will have some data which are coming from AppStream, which would be CSV, a complex CSV. You have to do some logics on complex CSV to convert it to the normal, to load to the SQL or some environment for doing certain activities. So learn Excel, basic reporting on Excel, or learn Power BI, Tableau kind of tools, which are again having all free accesses for colleges. Or if you are a student, you get free access on Tableau and Power BI. So please, and there are a lot of tutorials available in Tableau itself or internet, YouTube. We know how to watch shorts in YouTube. We know how to watch certain videos on YouTube, but we also need to know how to search and get these kind of things in internet. Internet has everything. It just you are just one step away, and maybe you don't want to spend time productive for your future at another reason, but have to be pre whatever. This is a kind of investment which doubles 1,000 times. Whatever time you're going to spend at your young age of career. See, I got lot of very good people who helped me. That is the reason why I'm helping you. So when I was actually last year of college, I was having arrear. I was having one arrear, I think. But my HOD, he was actually taking some concern on me, and he helped on various different activities, saying that okay, you go and do this. You try to because one interview I lost, I was slightly demotivated, but he helped me to come up, and he told, okay, talk to this people. The seniors. Talk to this guy. He's working on such some company. Talk to them, and then it started. So, and when I got into my first career, HCL, I got a lot of people who helped me. Like they were telling, the first year of my career in 2012, I started working in Hadoop. So I got my certification in 2012. So that's one of the most interesting thing we did actually on. I mean, the people helped me, and a lot of activities. I contributed. I also I was sitting along with them, and they helped me on understanding it. That's one of the most interesting thing which I got in my career. So, but here what you have to do is you have to hit the doors. You have to understand how the companies are working. It's good. See, there are a lot of people who are helping. I mean, I can even conduct a forum where maybe another few session which would have people from different part of the world, how to clear the interview, all those things definitely I can do. But you have to go to this, like the reporting tool, Tableau, Power BI. You can find it on the internet. The next is cloud. Yes, cloud is also, every cloud you can learn free. Microsoft is also having a free cloud challenge. What is that portal? Which I can share with you. AWS is also having a lot of, because they want more people to practice the cloud. They want more engineers to know how this cloud operates, so they can do better business. So these are the basic skills which are required for any students or any budding data engineers to shine on the data engineering field. So the career path is most important, because the skills and career paths are different. So the skills are the basics. The skills are like the body parts. Career path is like your brain, how it functions. So definitely you need to know strong foundation in computer, irrespective. Don't have a reason that I am from a mathematics background. I have no idea about computers. You are using mobile phone, and everybody have to use laptop. So it is now becoming an essential for you to understand how all these computers works. So, and you have internet. Everybody, mathematics student doesn't have an internet which says I can show you only mathematics, or a science student doesn't have internet which says I will show you only how human anatomy works and the plants works. Everything are common. Everybody can learn internet. Everyone are using mobile phone. Everyone are using computer. So it is not a restriction. It's just here a restriction. You have to cross it. Okay. So you have to learn about basics of computers if you want to become a data engineer. Data structures, as I mentioned, it's all available in the local languages and also in various different YouTubes algorithms. You have to learn about SQL. I'll show you some. I'll give you some references where to learn. And databases, relational and non-relational, like NoSQL databases, you have to learn. It's good to learn about distributed computing and storage. There is no harm in learning the basic Hadoop, which is distributed storage. You can, again, everything are available in internet. You can go through the basic Hadoop architecture. There are a lot of people explained it very well. Data warehouse concepts is one of the most important. What is ETL? Extract, transformation, load. There are some tools, which means when you have the data, what are the magics, the transformations you can do with the data? What are the logics you apply on the data? That is what transformation. Extract the data, do the transformation, and load it to the result where I can do reporting. You can know, see, you don't have to be master in everything, but you need to know all this as a concept. Real-time messaging queues, what is Kafka, what is the TIBCO, what kind of differences all these are having. Then the data integration, how the integration works. Let's say how Kafka is connected with Spark. You have it in YouTube. Let's say, what if I want to take data from MySQL to Spark? You have it in YouTube. You have this data in YouTube, videos in YouTube. You can see it. So basic data integration. And basics about the cloud platform. See, cloud platforms are nothing like, it's very straightforward, like using a laptop, someone else's laptop, with only the services, whatever you need, or someone else's because you have everything, every components in cloud have a name, and different clouds have different name, which means the component functionality remain the same, only the name differs. That's why when people ask, I know Azure, but how complex for me to get into AWS? It's not very complex. It's something like the component names are different, and you have to understand it in a different way. Very straightforward. Okay, so that is one of the most important thing. And the next is basics of data. Okay, these are kind of concepts which are ignored, I would say, because when you want to have a long journey on data, or when you want to impress the interviewer, you need to know about what is data governance. Basic governance in the sense, how do you control people accessing your data? Security, what are the masking? Let's say I have my business in US and I have my offshore in India. As per the US government regulation, certain data should not be exposed to other countries. Okay, so how can I mask it? The people in India have to work on the same data, but it is not the actual data, it's a mask data. Or I can say that only this set of people has the access to read the data. Other set of people can read only mask data. Likewise, we can do governance, security together. And then data management, what kind of data modeling, data management, all these are important. But for a beginning period of your career, you just need to know the basics. Okay, because these are the component of ecosystem. It is something like when you are going to a new country, or when you're going to a new city, it is good to know about what are the uh, uh, what facilities on the city. So though you may not, I mean, like, you may not use it, but you need to know about it, or you need to know very basics about it. So that's what. And then the industry implementations. I am hosting few sessions about industry implementations. Like last week also we had a session. Likewise, I'll also host few sessions. You can definitely connect with some people who are open to help you. So you can ask them what are the businesses they are I mean, like, businesses in the sense, what businesses their company is doing, and what are the kind of activities they do on the job. So that gives you more idea. Or you can ask them to explain one business case. Be very straightforward. You tell them, like, okay, I need some mentorships about the industry implementation, so that it will help me on the interviews. So straightforward, ask them, share with me one business case, but make sure that you understand it properly. And one more important thing on any interview is, listen to the interviewer and ask questions if you are not clear. So because I've seen some people, especially the young people, they just start answering assuming that that is the question. So that is something most important. You should not do it. Okay. So that's what target knowledge and certificates for data structures. Google Tech Dev Guide with Google. You have everything in data structures and algorithm, and also you have you have a lot of YouTube channels and others who are providing proper information about the data structures and algorithms. If you want to practice SQL, take Lead Code or HackerRank SQL Challenge. This is the most important thing. Many companies are acknowledging this, and it is very good to have a badge here on Lead Code and HackerRank or HackerRank. It to anyone and do a lot of what is that functionality based problem solving, because this is one of the most important thing which you have to do. So definitely, if you want to become a data engineer and if you are not doing it, then try to choose a different career. Without SQL, you cannot survive. Okay. And you need to know about relational databases. You have a lot of things available in YouTube. Data warehousing concept you have in YouTube. Spark, yes, you can learn through Databricks, YouTube. You have the internals of Spark book, you can do it. Or you can, it's your choice. You can attend some trainings if you feel somebody is teaching very good. But make sure you can learn everything on your own. And in case of cloud, Azure is having DP203, DP900 certificates, where they also have a portal. Just go and Google Microsoft Cloud Challenge. Don't click any sponsored link. Click the link which comes as a first result. Please don't click any sponsored link because there are some misguiding factors there. So in the Microsoft Cloud Challenge, you can take up a challenge where you have to definitely spend 3 to 4 hours a day, 30 days challenge. Okay. So this 30 days challenge is going to be an investment on your life, on your career. Okay. So take this challenge, spend 3 to 4 hours, plan and take the challenge. That is one of the most, because I've seen people have taken this Microsoft challenge and they say, okay, I have a vacation for next 4 days, which means you didn't plan. Because you have to spend 3-4 days there. Okay. So 3-4 hours per day. And you have to properly take this challenge. And if you are finishing the challenge, first of all, Microsoft is giving you all the resources to learn everything from the basics. Okay. About their cloud basics and everything. And also they are, if you are finishing the challenge, they are giving 50% offer on the certificate. Okay. So these are the most important thing which you can do. So likewise, AWS is also having their own resource, learning resource. You also have Google Cloud is also having one learning resource. So you can get into certain things and certifications. Yeah, I mean, like that's what, there are a lot of resources available in the internet. So it's just like you have to uh, you have to search just one step away, as I always mention. The next is job demands. Yes, core data engineer with strong SQL, Spark, and NoSQL skills are always in demand. Okay. Then the BI consultants, the one who creates reports, especially with the Power BI or a Tableau reporting with somebody with reporting knowledge, and also SQL. See, all these need SQL. Okay, because these are data. Wherever you have a role with data, you need SQL. Other than the data entry. Okay, so any role, any job role you have with data, like data analyst or data engineer or something, you need SQL knowledge. And cloud data migration specialist, where you will be part of a cloud data migration team where you do migration from traditional to cloud, which needs more, which gives you more experience. That's a different story. Data architect, when you grow in your career, you can become a data architect. DevOps, data ops, these are the job demands for on the data side. Data platform and pipeline operations. Operation job is also a nice one, where will have the responsibility of handling the whole infrastructure, and the jobs are on your responsibilities. So the ultimate job which you can begin is data engineer, the junior data engineer or the data engineer, where you can actually start everything by creating simple jobs with business logics. Then you'll be part of a team which solves a bigger problem. Likewise, you evolve in the career. Okay, the Gulf job market for data engineers. So this is a movie which released recently, and there was a story about one of the person who struggled in Gulf. But the job market in Gulf nowadays is not, it's very good actually. It's becoming very professional. The term I have to use, it's becoming very professional, because 6-7 years ago it was not that great, and the professionalism was not there. But nowadays it is, the diversity. The many people are coming from different part of the world, implementing proper standards, culture. I am meeting one person who is coming from UK, where they have signed that this guy is running a culture implementation company. How a company should work, what kind of good practices they have to do in case if a company needs to have a good work culture. So all these are most important things, which means the companies in Gulf are actually ready to take the cultural challenges, and they want to do, they are ready to adopt it, which means the job demand is more. That's and also they need people from different part of the world to come and work here. Diversity is one of the major factor right now, and they are having more. I mean, the countries are aiming for good, valuable people to come and work. The salaries are also getting properly drafted. But one thing is, if in future or somebody who says that, okay, I have to pay this company so and so amount and get an IT job, that is a scam. Okay, the companies here who are really having the jobs don't ask you for any money. Okay, so if someone says that go to Gulf and take a visit visa and search a job, you will not get a job if you are IT jobs are not such very easy in the visit visa. That is you can get a BPO job, or you can get a bank executive job if you come through visit visa, not IT jobs. Okay. And you also, there are people say that pay 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs Indian rupees to an agency where they can get a job. That is also a scam. Okay. 99% scam, maybe 1% or 2%. There is somebody who do it on a right way, or you have a luck where they have some jobs which are one in blue moon. Okay. So that's what, and demands are growing for data engineers over 3 years of local experience. So you need to be in India or any other country where you belong, and you need to have a basic work experience there. That is one of the most important thing. Freshers are not having direct opportunities here, and you need to, yeah, and this in the data side, data management, data governance, and some expertise profiles are in high demand. Whereas I've seen some organizations taking uh, people from western part of the world for such roles, because they have done a lot of implementations, and also a lot of people from the DESI countries are taking this road. And cloud data engineering practices are increasing nowadays. The cloud companies are setting up two data centers. Every countries needs to have the production and disaster recovery data center. So one data center goes down, the other takes the charge. So nowadays, most of the Gulf countries are getting the the two data centers, so that the DR can be handled. That's the reason why the cloud adoptions are also coming, and the governments are also planning, are implementing a lot of cloud-based rules, which, because that's the future. So the governments are also implementing a lot of protocols for cloud to have safer accesses, hosting the data and all those things. So that's the reason why few uh, many companies started exploring cloud, and they started doing analytics on cloud. So that is happening, which means the cloud data engineers are in need very soon. Or right now, even right now, there are a lot of opportunities for cloud data engineers. So these are which means the job market is always having demand for data engineers. And you can, if you are getting into data engineering, you can have your future here. And as I always mention, the cost of living is not very bad when compared to Europe, US, and Canada. Now Canada, they have very, the other part of the world are having very costly living habits. And you have the food wise, you have like you can get food from 120 countries. Food items are not costly. It's normal, because in India itself it's costly now, everything. And the climate wise, yes, you have 5 months of winter, and 6 or 5 months of aggressive what is that weather, where right now I heard from my father that Chennai is having very bad weather, which means there is no difference. Okay. India is also having adverse weathers now. So it's just a myth that okay, Gulf is having desert, which is having very hot weather, where India is having a lot of trees. Still, we have much more crucial weather because of humidity. So it's all just an just a reason to ignore certain countries. Okay, and you have there is a myth. This is a common fear among the elders because they have seen people or relatives going to Gulf and they struggle for their life. That's because the even I have my father's brother, like those they were here and they were having a lot of struggles. That's because they didn't study. But with education and proper guidance, and if you are getting into IT company here, you have a good future. Okay, but non-IT, there are a lot of issues where BPOs are having a lot of the salaries are not very good when compared to IT. So in that case, you can if you are choosing a country where you can return back to India if you think like you don't want a citizenship and other stuffs, you can choose this country because it's very close to India and you have zero tax here. There is no tax for individuals as of now, or maybe not in near future, which means you in India we have 30%, whereas other countries are having 30, 35 up to 35 percentage. Where here there is no tax, but here there is no citizenship. You can get golden visa, but which is for visa for 10 years, but you cannot get citizenship. And insurance and medical is better than US and Canada. I heard like in Canada, if you are going for a specific medical checkup, you have to wait at least 3 weeks, 2 weeks to get an appointment. Hey, in Gulf, it's not very complicated, but not very easy like India. That's other story. In India, you can reach any hospital, go and hit the doctor in the ICU. That is what happening in many part of India. But here it's all different. So that's the kind of culture here. So it's that's what if you want to explore this market, this is a good market now, and it has a good improvement. Saudi Arabia is having a lot of new projects. UAE is having a lot of great things. Where recently, this week, Abu Dhabi has announced approximately 170,000, which means 170,000 jobs are expected in next 2 years, which means there are a lot of demands. Okay, let's get into the most interesting part, which is Q&A. So I've seen few people have asked some questions or something as a text. Yes. Even you have written most of the data pipelines. Yes, everybody writes most of the data pipeline in SQL because SQL is the most important thing. Like even olden days, we were writing it in Python, some of the data pipelines. Then we adopted to SQL because that's more easy. And once a guy gets job in bank, they do courses and sell in LinkedIn, seeing a lot of, okay, that's fine. That's correct, Sriram. So it would be super fun if you host a SQL question competition for us. Okay, yeah, but not now, Vaibhav. Maybe we can have a separate session and I'll give you some challenges. So we can have a live challenge and, okay, this is a nice idea. Let me try this in April. So I can create some scenarios where we can have people coming on a challenge, take the challenge and solve it, because that's not going to be a win or a lose. It's a learning. Someone who is doing good can teach how they did it to the others. Okay. I asked for the same in my college at first. They were just making things later. Suspend. Okay. Okay. Then you are in a complicated college, Viber. You can take your ID. You can use your college ID card and others so that you can directly apply Microsoft or the AWS, where you get. Uh, See, this is what happening in few part of India, where the colleges, if they don't have a proper answer, they say, "I'll suspend you," or "I'll I'll not give you internal marks." This is still happening. Unfortunate. Which means the teachers are not aware of this thing. So maybe we have to train the teachers session. So yeah, Sriram, I'm from Salesforce admin, 2 years of experience. If I switch to data, can I expect at least a present as one LP or okay. So Sriram, you can actually you have to. That's what if you are having all these basics and other stuffs clear, and you can approach me one-to-one, Sriram. We'll talk maybe next week. Oh, sorry, coming week I'll be slightly busy because that's a holiday in UAE. Maybe 1 or 2 days we can connect. I'll be available, so we can you connect with me in LinkedIn, Sriram. We'll discuss. Okay. Roadmap for Spark SQL or PySpark. Okay, Spark SQL is going to be the domination, Gautam, because You can write most of them in Spark SQL. Databricks is making it more easy. And unless the complex functions or certain logics which you have to write on your own, others can be written through Spark SQL itself. And that's what organizations are preferring. Like 2 days ago, I was talking to a customer where they found that some of their SAP queries are directly compatible to Spark, straightforward, which means they don't have to do re-engineering. And it's working fine because they just took the SAP query and they added it in Databricks. It worked. So those kind of uh, ease of doing it when there is a Spark SQL. But yes, PySpark is
SAP
also
on SAP on Spark. SAP query on
no,
Spark is what you're saying.
yeah, that's what I didn't see that because they were doing some
Okay.
POC.
Usually it'll be in the cubes, right? Like how can it will be directly
The
run
SQL queries, the basic SQL queries, whatever they do. I mean, even I have to.
Yeah, I think because it creates a SQL query which is like more oriented with the S-base kind of thing, the cube structure, SAP.
Correct. That's
Maybe
what
I
even
don't
I
know.
was wondering about this because they told, oh, we have taken some queries from SAP and it is working fine in Spark SQL, which was even a surprise for me. That's why I'm telling you.
Uh-huh.
Even I heard this from them, which means maybe I can check with them what they did. But this was the because migrating SAP is the complex thing. I know that. So, but
Yeah.
they told me this. So we took some queries from SAP based logics. We first did it in DBweaver. It is not working, but in Databricks it worked. I don't know. I have to check this because that is a complicated one.
Yeah.
So we need more session on industry implementations. Yes, definitely we can do it, Prasanna. We are non-technical. What are the non-technical soft skills which data profession need to progress? Yes, definitely proper English, and also you need to have a listening skill. That is one of the most important thing because you need to listen the question and you have to answer based upon the question. Okay, so because I've seen many people are not having proper listening skill, and then the basic skills are fine, but you need to do whatever you learn, you have to practice. This is the most important thing. Whatever you learn, you have to practice. So just by watching YouTube's playlist or series is not going to help. Okay? When you are in an interview, if you have a practice, your mind automatically start analyzing the way and it gives you the answer rather than watching the videos. Okay. Sneha, I have 5.5 years of experience in IT, having experience in testing and database support. Okay, if Sneha, you are doing database support, then which means you have more relevancy towards data engineering. So database support, you must be knowing basics of cloud. The SQL. Okay, make your SQL very strong. Okay, and have learn few basic things about Spark or get into this DP203 Azure certification. And if you need more guidance, you can talk to me in LinkedIn so that I can give you because this is something which we have to sit on a call and discuss about few basic things which you currently have and which you want to take because many people are actually having some good skills already. So we have to just ask them to tweak few things, say a few more interesting, I mean, add few more interesting things or use cases in the resume where you can get a job. So that is one thing which uh, we have to see. And yes, what are the challenges of get jobs with certificate as a fresher in IT? See, it's okay. A fresher with this kind of Azure and AWS certificates are fine because that gives a clear and if you can tell them like you did it. That is one of the most important because the common market is having a lot of scammers who are ready to do certification for it. But you can tell specifically that I did it. I learned this. You can it's still that, okay. I took this particular website, I learned it, and then I cracked the certificate, or I spoke to so and so person who helped me through LinkedIn or some or your relative, whoever. Like you have to give some honest answer and tell them like, okay, these are the certificates I've cleared. Uh, that would actually give you more idea, but it is always required. Uh, I mean, like it is better to have a certificate, I would say. Best and worst case scenario you faced while handling a big data project. Okay. The best and worst case, the best case is like we did recently one migration with proper optimizations where we created frameworks. Okay. Because there were almost 550 jobs which needs to be migrated. We did a basic assessment of what are the jobs and what kind of upstreams they are taking. Some jobs were taking file, some jobs were taking Kafka, some jobs were taking data from another database systems, a front-end application, like applications. So what we did an analysis and we have categorized it. Uh, Actually, we proposed nearly 8 months for the task because there were no information given to us during the proposal, but we finished it in 6 months because we made a plan and we created a framework where we just implemented the queries from the previous jobs, and we created a queries and we just started it in framework. So the implementation became very fast. That was the best thing. Worst thing was we were working on a project where the hardware implementation went very wrong. Because of that, the jobs were not running faster than the previous system, the traditional system. It took the whole blame came to us because we were the one who were writing the job, my team. So it's all they were saying that, oh, so Spark is, you are not obeying the Spark standards. Later, after 3 months, we come to know that the hardware was not proper for it, and the one who implemented, the company who implemented the hardware made a mess. But at last we just uh, cleaned our dust, but the just nothing from our side. Uh, it was, we did everything correct, but the other environment didn't support us. So that was kind of a, that happens normally. Yes, DP600 Fabric is a very good bundle, Prasanna. Fabric has all the contents required for it. That is one of the most important thing. But for a basics, you can check whether you are understanding all the Fabric components in the certification. I mean, in the bundle. Then, if you are okay, you can do it. Right now, I'm in data pipeline monitoring of DAGs, Airflow, and configuring Databricks jobs quickly. Mine is a support team, which I joined recently. I currently have 1.7 years looking to do more hands-on work with actual data pipeline creation. Okay, so Rishi, so you what you have to do is first take some if this is allowed, take a paper and try to crack one of the pipeline or two of the pipelines which are there. What are, let's say there is something called source to target. Okay, you prepare that source to target on yourself because it's going to be your own learning. From where the data is taken, what are the columns, what are the business logics, how the columns are getting transformed, what is the purpose of those. Let's say a business case would have 15 jobs which are more important. Take the 15 job, draw a diagram and see, okay, this job is doing this because of this. This is the dependency job for this, and which means the dependency is taking this data from the job A. Then job C is taking is having lookups from job C, job C, job C. Likewise, you draw that. Okay, so you will understand, okay, what is happening on your infrastructure itself. Okay? So that will give you a very great thing where this learning is more important, so that when you appear for a next interview and you say you have a data engineering experience, you have a problem to be explained. I mean, a solution can be explained. So because I don't understand how complex for you to uh, uh, get a position change in the organization, but you can learn what they are doing, and you can learn every other stuffs which are related to the skill, and you can get into a next career which will give you better opportunities if your company is not giving. Because more than the technologies, if you are working, the business knowledge is also equally important. Yeah, this one, Vaibhav, I will try to get into. I have a few more experts who did this with me, so I can create a separate session because see this is important, but many companies have done it, and many are about to do it. So this is a good topic. Yes, we noted. learning concept, but how can we showcase or put it into the project, and where can we get into a project overview? So this is something which, that's why I'm telling you, right? You have to talk to the people. Or like last week, I had a session about a specific implementation. I think April 3rd week, I'll be having one more session. You have to talk to the people within your organization if you're working, or you have to talk to your to a specific set of LinkedIn people to connect with them. If they're ready to connect with you, you can talk to them and understand what are the business problems they are solving. So that's what. If you are not working, then you have to talk to them. And don't ever get into any training institute and they say that, okay, I have a real time problem, and they say they'll give you how to calculate employee salary month wise. That is not the real time problem. Okay, the real time problem is big. So you have to talk to the people, data engineers, and better have a question if somebody is ready to mentor, because people are asking me that question at the end of the mentorship. You are not going to suggest a course worth 50,000 or 1 lakh. No, I'm not going to do it. Just it's better to talk to them, because there are a few people who are welcoming the mentorship are saying, okay, don't worry, join this course or join my friend's course. He will teach you. It's okay. You can learn by your own. But again, learning is your choice. You can pay and learn. That's not a problem. Who's working on a project? Can you share some best resources to learn APIs? Okay, so Prasanna, can you let me know what are the APIs you are expecting? Because every components are having a Salesforce is having an API, where we are doing one sustainability project where we are connecting to net zero API, and we are getting the data. Every components, okay, APIs for data collection. That's what this one of the example I told, right? Salesforce API, we are connecting and gathering the data. That is one of our upstream for from the Salesforce team. I'll be getting one person next week. Her name is Carmel. Like 2 days ago, I connected with her for a API, which from the ADF they created a pipeline where the API comes from Zoom, some of their Zoom data above, because they are having a what is that uh, healthcare product where some virtual consultations, they need to get all those data about when the call started, who joined the call, all those things. So they were having 1,000 to 2,500 calls, which happens every hour. So for that, she was connecting to Zoom API that was having some problem. So I tried to help her. So likewise, the API. Okay, I'll try to get the list of APIs from the setup teams. Or next week we'll have a call with certain people. I'm trying to gather 2-3 people so that they will share the interview experiences. What are the gaps which can be there? So we can get from that person. So there is no specific Kafka developer role. Okay, it's a data engineer who have to do Kafka, because consider you want to connect Kafka with Spark. You have 3 lines of code. Okay, and you want to create a Kafka topic. It's a one comment with all your things. You want to modify the Kafka topic. It's all comments. Okay, so these admins can easily do. And if you want to do certain complex producer consumer, yes, you will be writing the data, and you have to call the you have to configure your retention. Uh, what kind of paradigm you have to use at least once or at most once. The basic the protocols of Kafka, yes, it is required, but these are a part of data engineering. There is no specific Kafka developer. A data engineer should know this. Okay, something like that. So I'm gonna okay. First of all, please don't call me sir. Can call me Navneet. I'm from MSc Agriculture. I want to do career transition to data engineering. Kindly tell roadmap. I'm also doing online MCA. Will company consider? Okay, Om Prakash, we'll connect on LinkedIn. You please ping me. Maybe next week, sometime I can connect with you. So that I'll give you some idea, because you need to have some basics to be covered. This is one of the important thing for you, because agriculture to data engineering is a slight complex transition, which you can do it. You can achieve it with a proper plan that we have to do, because uh, like certain basic things I want to know, like are you clear, or you want to, or you have to start from the scratch. So I think you are already messaging me in LinkedIn, so we can schedule a call next week and do it. Okay, so you can definitely contribute to open source. It's up to you whether you want to contribute to the existing open source component or invent an open source open source component. Because I have one friend who invented something similar to Spark, which I cannot expose directly because that is on evaluation side. So he invented something better than Spark. That's what he is claiming, and that has been proved actually. But the time is the most important thing when you do any open source implementation, because Databricks is a very massive company where they have a lot of great minds who can bypass you if you are not if you are not implementing, and if you don't have a market demand for any new products, because big companies always it's a small invention. If you are delaying, that's what I even told that guy, don't delay. Think that you are walking on the floor of lava where you have to walk faster. Okay, so that is one of the most important thing. And the next is, yes, I will check, is there any way for you to contribute on open source? Because I have not done any open source contribution personally, but I have some friends. Maybe we can tell. You can ping me in LinkedIn. I'll check and let you know. I can give you some contacts also. I can share you some profiles where you can connect with them and check how to start a data domain after career break. That's not if you already have a data related knowledge, or you have a data related career, you had a data related career, it's not going to be complex. If you want to start as a beginning, because uh, starting is nowhere related to career gap. If you had a career related to data, then you have to just uh, learn or cover the new concepts which are required, and you can still show the previous experiences. Because I could see there are a lot of people are getting job. Even I have one of my employee. She got a career gap of 2 years, but she's one of the best in the organization, in the company. So it's this, but again, it is something which you have to spend time on learning and get into a few things. That is one of the most important thing. It's not about career gap. Everybody, somebody who got laid off or somebody who wants to get into a new job role, everybody have to spend the same time actually. So that is why, like, I think Monday or Tuesday, I was talking to one guy who was in a support job, but he doesn't like to stay. He was asking, shall I drop the job? I have money for next 5 months. Shall I take this risk? I told, take 2 months time, assess all these things, do all the basics, then start attending interviews, because you have some gaps. If you clear those gaps and see whether your confidence level boosts up or not. If you have a better confidence, yes, stay in the job and do it. If not, you can take the risk, because he was thinking like the job is every day 8 hours was demotivating him. He clearly told me that I hate to work on this job, because those 8 hours are demotivating, and through learning I'm recovering my peace. So such kind of uh, you know it's about everybody's choice. I'm not complaining, or I'm not commenting on him. It's his pain, whatever he is going through. So I told him, take some more extra time and decide yourself, because at one point the financial struggle should not be there. That adds 2x of pressure or 3x of pressure when you don't have money and don't have job. So plan and accept everything. Yes, if it is not working, take the risk. I think someone is typing a big question, I believe. Anybody else, any question? Yes, data engineering is having production support where, when you have data pipeline, you have to do an operation where the pipeline have to run. Let's say there is a data pipeline which is scheduled before 9 and 9 a.m. Business hour, that should finish at 4:30. Who is going to monitor it? Yes, and infrastructure monitoring is there. Data like there is a what is it? Controls and command center kind of infrastructure monitoring are there. You need to have end-to-end infrastructure monitoring, cloud monitoring tools are there where you can adopt it. And job monitoring is also important thing where some companies are doing 24/7. Some companies are just running night shift, where day shift they are doing with the data engineers. It depends upon the strategies, whatever they do. But that is a separate job. Production support is there, Ronak. K8s, yes, yes. Nowadays, Spark is running on Kubernetes. Every data infrastructure you are possible on Kubernetes. So it is good to learn about Kubernetes, OpenShift. All these are compatible. So there is no, that's what learning doesn't have any end. You can learn, and it's all the compatibilities are there for Kubernetes. Yes, definitely. Open dataset sources for IoT for the portfolio projects. Okay, Prasanna, you connect with me. I'll get you some things. There are some open data which we use. Like I can check there are those APIs can be accessed by, if you are in India, then I have to check, because we are using few local open data which has to be checked. So you can ping me in LinkedIn, so we can definitely, I can share you some open data sets which we use. Sustainability also, there is a Europe data set which we use for tracking sort of traceability and other few things, which I can share the link. Scalar in the sense Scala. Okay, okay, sorry, it's a typo. See, Scala again, Python is enough, but if you uh, some people are having Java background, they are very comfortable with Java. So in that case, Scala, but it depends upon the organization. I know a few organizations, they are using Scala and they have a practice of using Scala based framework. So in that case, they prefer Scala based people. But it's not you can become a good Python engineer and search. It's again your choice. But the